Hello, we're live. Sorry, my headphones went out. I had to change to the wired headphones. So I hope y'all like that. That's a new intro I put together this morning. Things are different. He's in office. The other intro was about him getting into office. And so now that he's there and we're working towards this first 100 days, I said, let's go with a new intro. So I hope you guys all loved it. Excuse me. Oh shoot, what's this? It's a new intro. It's a new intro. Welcome to today's rally. So this rally, just want to let you know, is going to be a lot different than the other rallies. It's smaller. For some reason, he scheduled it at the last minute, and it's in a much smaller, it's in a ballroom at a casino. Probably can only hold 3,000 or 4,000 people. So excuse me, not sure why he's holding it there, but he did it last minute, and it only holds, a couple thousand people, so we'll see what happens. But let's go ahead and catch up with some news right off the bat. Some of you guys are obviously astute and aware of what's been going on, and let me get to some news that I can show you guys. This involves Pete Hegseth and Kristi Noem.
Holding a swearing-in ceremony for new Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth after casting that tie-breaking vote last night. Let's listen.
Had somebody who's had their back. That will change because the President of the United States nominated this guy, and we are grateful to President Trump for doing so. I also want to say thank you to my Senate colleagues. It turns out we couldn't spare one, and all of you did an incredible job. In particular, my dear friend Roger Wicker, thank you for shepherding Pete through the committee. Roger did a great job. And in addition, all of the members of the Senate Armed Services Committee, who I know gave Pete the vetting and the hearing that he deserved, and I'm glad that we all ultimately decided that the President's nominee for Secretary of Defense ought to be our actual Secretary of Defense, and we're here today. I'm going to say one final thing. If you look at what has separated President Trump from so many of the people who came before him, it is the view that, number one, we should be sparing in how we deploy our most precious resource, which is the men and women who are willing to put on the uniform and put their life on the line for this country. We shouldn't send them everywhere. But two, when we do send them anywhere, we ought to empower them with the tools necessary to fight and win quickly and come home afterwards. And that is what sets this administration apart, and that's what Pete Hegseth represents. Now, finally, I, of course, have to thank the nominee himself. Pete, thank you for being willing to put yourself out there. I think you've shown yourself a man of deep character and of resolve over the last few months. Jennifer, thank you for standing by, our new Secretary of Defense, and your beautiful family, from your kids to the extended family. You guys did a hell of a job. We're proud of you, and we're glad to have you in Washington as we work to make America great again. So with that, let me administer the oath of office. Kids, come on up. Come on, guys. All right, put your hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Pete Hegseth.
I, Pete Hegseth,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that
I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help you God?
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Secretary. Congratulations. All right, I guess that's it. Any questions?
Why should women in the armed service trust you?
Guys, let me answer that for the new secretary. All people in our armed services should trust him because he looks out for them and he's going to fight for them. And he's going to make sure that we have the kind of military that we can all be proud of, that we can all be proud of, and that, again, when we send it to do a job, we do it well, we do it quickly, and then we get the hell out. And that's what Secretary Hegseth is going to bring to the Department of Defense. Anything else? All praise and glory to God. His will be done, and we're grateful to be here. And as I said in my hearing, it was Jesus and Jenny. I would not be here without you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. I want to thank the President of the United States, our Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump. We could not have a better Commander-in-Chief than him. It is the honor of a lifetime, sir, to serve under you. We look forward to having the backs of our troops and having your back in executing peace through strength, in putting America first, and in rebuilding our military. Mr. Vice President, thank you for breaking the tie. It's not the last time, or not the first time the headline reads, Junior Enlisted Marine bails out Junior Army Officer. And, you know, some people were saying, well, 50-50, that's too tight. And Senator Mark Wayne Mullen was nice enough to take my kids up to the gallery to watch the actual moment that the Vice President sealed the deal. And they came running in. They said, Dad, instead of being sad about 50-50, 51-50, they said, Dad, you won in overtime. That's the perspective I like. So thank you throughout this process, Mr. Vice President, for being incredible. I also want to thank the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee. So many members of the Senate Armed Services Committee, we became fast friends in this process. The advice, the consent, the wisdom, the guidance. I look forward to working with all of you and other senators to ensure the Defense Department has what it needs, that our nation has what it needs, and that we're prepared to defend it in all moments. To my staff, amazing staff who were with us this entire process, I see so many of you through thick and thin. We used to look at the betting odds every once in a while on this. It was low at one point. Never do that. But we defied them. And there were so many folks on the inside and then allies on the outside who stood by us every single moment. And we are eternally grateful for that. And I want to thank the warfighters. I want to thank the men and women wearing the uniform. And I've said this before when I speak, and I mean it. Every time I stand at a podium and there's bright lights and cameras, the first thing that goes through my head are the guys that I served with on the battlefield. The men and the women who I locked shields with and put my life on the line with, who never get the spotlight, who never have the cameras, who people don't know what they did in dark and dangerous places. But I know. And at the Pentagon, we're going to remember and we're going to know. And we're going to think about those warriors with every single decision that we make. We will put America first. We will bring peace through strength. And the three principles I talked about are what we will bring to that Pentagon. Restore the warrior ethos in everything that we do. Rebuild our military and reestablish deterrence. We don't want to fight wars. We want to deter them, as you said. And we want to end them responsibly. But if we need to fight them, we're going to bring overwhelming and decisive force to close with and destroy the enemy and bring our voice. And to my other family that's here as well, who I love, it's the honor of a lifetime. And I would be remiss if I didn't note one person in this room who doesn't expect to be recognized, but Captain Araujo is here. He was my company commander on my first deployment in Guantanamo Bay. He was there on June 3rd, 2003, when I first swore in as a second lieutenant at Princeton University, and he swore me in. And I wanted to make sure he was here today with me as well. Thank you very much. So, Mr. President, thank you very much to the American people. We have your back. We're going to get to work right away. God bless. Thank you.
You are looking live at the floor of the United States Senate as voting is now closed in the confirmation of Kristi Noem to be our next Homeland Security Secretary. This after Pete Hegseth was sworn in moments ago as Secretary of Defense after Vice President J.D. Vance broke a tie during his confirmation vote in the Senate late last night. Welcome to Fox News Live. I'm Mike Emanuel. A busy Saturday. Let's go live to our senior congressional correspondent, Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill with the very latest. Hello, Chad.
Mike, good afternoon. Well, Pete Hegseth confirmed last night, Kristi Noem today. The vote just came down. The vote was 59-34. There were 6 Democrats who voted to confirm Kristi Noem. They were John Fetterman, Tim Kaine, Andy Kim, Scott Peters, Jean Shaheen, and Alyssa Slotkin. Now, the Senate meets in a rare Saturday session today to advance as many nominees across the finish line as possible. Kristi Noem, as I said, enjoyed bipartisan support.
I wish her well in the enforcement of law and re-emphasize that border security is very important, not only for the sovereignty of this great nation of ours, because you can't be a sovereign nation if you don't control the borders.
The border will be a major focus of Noem at DHS, also in her portfolio addressing issues at the Secret Service, following the double assassination attempts on the life of President Trump last year. FEMA also falls under the DHS umbrella. Democrats are worried about mass deportations and border security.
If the Trump administration decides to use the Department of Homeland Security, which Governor Noem is seeking to head to enforce mass deportation, what's going to happen in that orchard? What's going to happen on that dairy farm?
The vote on Noem is not the only roll call vote today. Next in the queue, a vote to clear a filibuster on the nomination of Scott Bessent. He is the president's pick to serve as Secretary of the Treasury.
Voting to confirm Mr. Bessent is one of the easiest we could ever take. Mr. Bessent's candidacy ought to enjoy similar support. And I encourage my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to join with me in advancing his nomination.
Now, we expect the Senate to vote early next week to confirm Bessent and Sean Duffy as Transportation Secretary. Other hearings looming next week, one for Director of National Intelligence nominee Tulsi Gabbard, and 2 hearings for RFK Jr. to run HHS. Mike?
So, Chad, 2 confirmations pretty quickly back to back. Is this a sign that things are starting to pick up in terms of pace? I know we've heard some complaints from Republicans about stall tactics.
Absolutely. They're running a little bit behind in terms of how you compare this to the pace of other administrations to this point. That's why they had to kind of, push through the weekend here. The fact that the Democrats were holding this up, they had major objections about Pete Hegseth, so that's why that took a couple of days and had that late night vote last night. Again, that was a partisan vote there. You had no Democrats vote for Pete Hegseth, but Democrats kind of liked that, saying, look, we're fighting against these nominees, but Republicans liked it too because they were able to show the president that they're fighting for his nominees. They're willing to take some time over the weekend, late into the night on Saturday morning to get these nominees across. So they're not going to confirm anybody else this weekend. They're on that procedural vote right now to clear the filibuster on Scott Bessent. Then they will vote to confirm him early next week, and they will continue. But again, it's going to be tough to get a couple of these other nominees through once they get through their hearings. RFK Jr., as I alluded to, and certainly Tulsi Gabbard for the Director of National Intelligence position.
We will follow them all. Chad Pergram starting us off live on Capitol Hill on Saturday. Chad, thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, so we got a big weekend, and then we've got a big week ahead. So today, Kristi Noem, and it's actually happening, I think it's happening right now. We'll see it if it is. She should be getting her swearing in because she got confirmed, as you just heard from the guys at Fox. She's been confirmed, so now I'm looking to see if we can't bring in, I don't know what this glare is. Hold on, let me just cut to this real quick so you guys can see it, see her sworn in. Might have this shadow on it. For some reason, it's got some kind of shadow. Let me see if I can go to a different feed here so we can see Kristi get sworn in. So, as I'm doing that, question for you: how'd you guys like the intro? like I said, it's a little bit different this time. I wanted to really get going, get rocking on some stuff. Let's see. No, that's Marco Rubio. All right, so we don't have to worry about it right now. She's not being sworn in anyway. So anyway, waiting on Trump to get to the stage. He's not there yet. This is a much smaller venue, much smaller. Like I said, it's in a ballroom of one of the smaller casinos in Las Vegas. So it's in a casino, but it's in a smaller casino, and it's in a ballroom. So it's probably looking at the picture, 3,500 people, maybe 4,000. So it's not a big outdoor rally. So don't be worried this week when you hear the media, oh, nobody showed up for Trump's rally. Well, it's in a small casino on a strip. More importantly, I think we need to talk about these RINOs. And I had posted something on Twitter, which I'd like to have you guys take a look at, because SB just sent me a quick update, so I'm not sure what this is. Yeah, I did see that. So the Republicans have introduced a bill. This was posted earlier. They posted a bill to rename Dulles Airport in Washington to Donald J. Trump International. Sounds good to me. Sounds very good to me. Put his name on it. Just another building with his name on it. Let's go for it. I think it's warranted. The guy's doing so much. Do you believe on MSNBC, they showed a video of, what's the chick name? Rashida Tlaib. And Rashida Tlaib was complaining that eggs cost $9 a dozen. And Trump hasn't lowered them yet. Let me check the calendar. Yeah, this is his 5th day in office. This is his 5th day in office, and she's complaining about eggs not being cheap yet. It's insane. Absolutely insane these people are. I think you guys saw the smackdown of Karen Bass last night, but I want you to take a look at this. And it's important, and I think we all need to basically work our butts off to make sure every senator, especially John Thune, knows this. So let's look at this. This is what I wrote. It's about these three morons. Those three right there. Susan Collins, McConnell, and Lisa Murkowski. All MAGA, which is you, should now demand and should contact John Thune that he remove Mitch McConnell from the Rules Committee, the Military Committee, anything he's associated committee-wise. Go ahead and get rid of him. Take him off of there. Also, all MAGA should now demand that Thune remove Lisa Murkowski from the Committee on Appropriations and all the other committees that she sits on. Stop rewarding these bad apples. Get rid of them. In addition, he should also remove Senator Collins from the Committee on Appropriations and those committees that she's on. Committee assignments and appointments should be for people who support Trump. Period. I don't care about seniority. Get rid of these people. They are obviously at this point enemies of MAGA. They don't deserve to sit on these panels or these committees. They're going to understand, even with Mitch McConnell, this is really important to understand. Mitch McConnell sits on a committee that will control the appropriation of funds on the guy he just voted against, Pete Hegseth. Let that sink in. The appropriation of money for the military and for the Department of Defense goes through a committee that Mitch McConnell sits on and is the chairperson of. So you just voted against the guy. That alone should be, if you vote against the guy who is going to be the Secretary of Defense and you control the money, you should not be in that position. You've already dictated that you have a problem with Pete Hegseth for whatever reason. I guess many of us could guess why. But at the same time, you control the purse strings over what he does. That can't be. This morning, Trump also, last night, let me get to this morning, but then I'll talk about last night first. He fired 17 inspector generals over various departments. got rid of them, gave them their pink slips. You got to go. Well, those of you and me were sleeping. He was still working, and he fired 17 inspector generals. Of course, the left loses their mind, but they had it coming. Then this morning, Stacey Dixon is no longer, quote, the acting director of national intelligence. That's the position that Tulsi Gabbard will be taking. Stacey Dixon was associated with roles that emphasized DEI, and that's her. So what made it problematic for her? Well, she was the acting secretary, but she was actively undermining Tulsi Gabbard. I don't think these people realize Trump has eyes everywhere. He knows what's going on in these departments. This isn't 2016. You're not going to slide into something and work against him and expect to survive, metaphorically, at your job. It ain't going to happen. So she's been shown the door. She got to go. Yesterday, and this is why I think something big is going to be happening with the media as well. These people are scum. I think we all can agree the media is scum. So one of the things that happened is, and some of you who were here yesterday were actually putting this in the chat. Some people were saying, hey, Mexico is turning away the flights. They're not letting the deportations occur. And it was all throughout the chat. I'm like, and I kept saying, not true, not true, not true. But you're letting garbage in, and then of course you end up putting garbage out because it's not true. I'm just checking on the Kristi Noem thing, and then over here I'm checking on the Donald Trump thing so I can move back and forth. But in any event, it's BS. The media is lying, and Tammy Bruce, who is now working in the Trump administration, she posted Tammy's new position. What is she? She's the official account of State Department spokesperson serving under the leadership of the 72nd Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. NBC put out this crap, which is what a lot of people saw and ran with. Mexico refuses to accept a U.S. deportation flight. And Tammy Bruce came out and had to clarify this. The fake news is already lying about our successful partnership with Mexico, helping to make our region safe again. The truth is, 4 ICE flights arrived in Mexico yesterday. 2 military flights were sent to Guatemala because they were filled with Guatemalans. 2,000 aliens were deported to Mexico yesterday alone by land and air, as Remain in Mexico was re-implemented. Promises made, promises kept. You're being lied to. There is a strong psyop happening in the media right now. They are doing everything they can to basically gaslight America. They've been gaslighting them, but now it seems like it's even grown in terms of what they're doing. So at this point, you may want to stay away from the mainstream media because they are going to lie. At this point, the only people you should be listening to, well, me, but really, the only people you should be listening to are people in the Trump administration. I'm serious. Tammy Bruce, spokesperson. Caroline Leavitt, spokesperson, press secretary. These kind of people are putting out the official messages as to what's going on. The media is fighting for their lives. They are just toast. Absolutely toast. I mean, I look at my daily rankings every day, and thank God for allowing me to be even discussed and involved in these numbers. But then I look down below and I'm like, man, even me, my small channel, my little corner of the world, I'm kicking the media's ass. They're desperate. They are absolutely desperate, and they're writing headlines that are completely untrue. And I know there's a lot of YouTubers who do the same thing. They sensationalize. I keep telling these guys, they ask me questions, and I'm like, you can't just keep putting stuff out there like, oh my God, Gavin Newsom quit. No, he didn't. He didn't quit. Don't write that crap. People click on it and they find out you're full of crap, and they won't come back and see your videos. You don't need to embellish or lie to people, because then you become just like the mainstream media. Just say you have a report today about what happened in California, and then give the report. Stop trying to bait people by saying Gavin Newsom quit, or, oh my God, you won't believe what happened to... You don't need to do that. We are in such a position right now. And those of you who are, starting channels and putting out posts, you are in a position to really, really make some headway. You don't need to lie, just be a good source. So when you see stuff like this, what Tammy Bruce puts out, understand she's a spokesperson with the Trump administration. And so she just called NBC to the curb. Let me see. I'm just looking at something. Yeah, she called NBC right to the curb. You're liars. Right to their faces, but they still put this crap out there. It's unbelievable. Sean Davis, somebody else I like to follow, and he's exactly right here. Now it's time for Trump to crush with extreme prejudice, meaning just don't even look the other way, just do what you got to do, the entirety of the Mitch McConnell staffer fundraiser lobbyist network in D.C. Crush them. Ban them from all admin jobs and appointments. Their clients, and cut them off from all RNC congressional campaign contracts. See, a lot of people in the media said that what this was going to be, Trump's campaign, was going to be a retribution campaign. And I kept saying it's not going to be a retribution campaign, because retribution is just paying back with the same. You punch me, I punch you. You slap me, I slap you. You spit in my face, I spit in your face. No, that's not what this is. This campaign and everything associated with it, and everything that you do online, the objective should be to annihilate, destroy, and end the media and the Democrats. You do that by telling truth, by doing the right thing. McConnell, he's a scumbag. There's no doubt about it. He's not on our side. If you're not on our side, then we don't need to have any time spent with you. You need to go away, period. And he has proven himself as somebody that cannot be trusted. Same thing with Susan Collins. Same thing with Lisa Murkowski. We're stuck with them, but they don't have to be people who are, how can I say this? They don't have to be trusted. They don't have to be in the inner circle. They don't have to be in any of these committees. In fact, they should be shunned. They should be put in a position where they're basically out there on an island, on the outside looking in, hoping to be a squirrel trying to catch a nut. Don't give them anything. Don't give them any favors. They've learned, or they should learn, that and this is where a lot of people get pissed off, their lack of loyalty, not to Trump, but to the American people. I think that's been another media gaslighting. Oh, he wants people who are loyal to him. No, he wants people who are loyal to the American people. Here's a campaign I stated. Here's what I said I was going to run. They elected me because of these things here that I was going to do. And so they put their faith in you in government to do these things. They know I can't do it alone. I'm just the president. I don't make the laws. I don't sit on the committees. You people do. You 100 senators, actually, 53 senators, sit on these committees, and you have to make sure that this is what we do. I just laid out the game plan. You guys are on the field and got to go play, and you don't want players on your team that are scumbags. And so Mitch McConnell and what's the other? Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins and Tom Tillis, you're on the edge. You're sitting on the end of the bench right now. We don't like what you've been doing. I'm just saying. You better get your act together. You could be one as well. J.D. Vance should not have to come in and basically break the tie at the end. Shouldn't have to. I'm looking, still waiting on. Okay, so we got two things going on, and neither one of them are going on yet. So everybody is, as always, late. So I'm pretty sure Trump and the speakers here are waiting to see the end of her confirmation hearing. I don't know. I'm just guessing. So I'm going to show you a picture on RSBN to give you an idea of what's going to happen in the media. As you can see there, that's the lady from RSBN. That's a crowd shot. Everybody's standing, and there's room in the back there. So they're going to say, nobody showed up. Nobody showed up. You're going to hear that over and over and over again. Because they have to. They like to lie. They have to lie. It's all they have. I really thought Fetterman was going to give one vote. He gave a vote to, what's her name? Kristi Noem, but he didn't vote for Hegseth. Loyalty to the American people. So every time they try to say it's about Trump, he's looking for loyalty. No, it's about people being loyal to the people who voted. And by saying it, it's just Trump, they're lying to people. They're absolutely lying to people. And it sucks. Why is Mitch even in there? His wife's brother is a very high person in the CCP. Why did she pick Mitch if it's because of her brother? I don't know. And the other thing with it is, can we believe, if we all called out Joe Biden, shouldn't people be calling out Mitch McConnell? Now, the only thing saving Mitch McConnell, and this is the only thing, Andy Beshear is the governor of Kentucky. And if Mitch McConnell walked away, Andy Beshear would probably put in a Democrat senator, which I guess wouldn't be that much of a difference anyway. Thank you about the shirt. You guys are liking my shirts. I don't get it, but okay. Trump just keeps pushing down on their necks. Yes, and that's what he's trying to let people know. It's not retribution. We're trying for extermination. We want to get rid of you people. You people need to just go away. There's no reason why you should even be a competitor. We don't even want you playing on the field. I know that bothers some people. It sounds so final. Is that the word? But I know when I played, I wanted to destroy you. I wanted to get in the back of your head. I wanted to get in your mind that maybe I shouldn't be going up against this guy. Because if I could get you to quit, then I could do whatever I wanted to you. Same thing with a boxer. You guys have seen many, many, many fights of young Mike Tyson going in. And he was taught back then, is why he was such an amazing boxer, is just take this dude out. Just don't play. You don't got to go dancing around. Take this dude out and let's go home. And sure enough, that's what he did. That's what his objective was. Oh, wow. Trump ain't messing around. So we're going to go to him right now. He's walking out on stage. So let's listen in. Let's hear what he's got to say. They're probably playing some music. Hold on. Let me hear what I'm trying to get it over here. So what I'll do, so this small rally doesn't get hurt, I'll somewhat talk over it and work it that way. So anyway, Trump's coming out. Kristi Noem is walking out on stage. It's obvious at this point that I'm not going to interrupt Trump for Kristi Noem to get confirmed. You guys won't see that. But as soon as he begins speaking, I'll go ahead and turn the volume up, which you guys can obviously see. Here we go. And let's see. Depending on the link here, things are different. I'm trying to see which one is better. Oh, hold on.
And go to this shot right now. They're playing a bit of music, I believe. Let's listen in. Yep, that is his normal intro music there. But as you can see, it's been a very, very busy week for President Trump. Yesterday, he was out there in North Carolina, making sure to visit those folks who had been affected by the hurricanes and still have not recovered at this point. And then after that, He did fly all the way across the country. He headed over to California, where he was able to talk and speak with those officials there in the state in order to talk about the wildfire recovery. We've covered that also extensively here on Live Now. But right now, as you can see there, President Trump is on stage as he is awaiting to talk to folks about the no tax on tips policy. Of course, we do know that there in Nevada, the tip-heavy hospitality industry is about a fifth of the jobs in the state. So there is a lot of folks. Again, we've heard from a few others who spoke there. Michael McDonough, the Republican Party chairman, also spoke a bit earlier at this event. And we also heard from the actor, or I should say, the personality on Pawn Stars. He was also there to speak on stage as well. So it looks like he's stepping up to the mic now. Let's listen in.
Las Vegas, hello Las Vegas, hello Nevada. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we won. And it's great to be back in this beautiful city to celebrate the historic first week in the White House. That was definitely historic. And I had a lot of help in winning. Joe Lombardo, your governor, is here someplace. Where's Joe? Thank you, Joe. You're looking good, Joe. Thank you very much. What a group. But look at who you have next to you. How can you fail with that guy? Also, Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony. Stavros, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Where are you? There you are, Stavros. You're very good. Is he doing a good job, Joe? I think so, huh? He's all right. Huh? Nevada GOP Chair Michael McDonald. He did something which not a lot of people have been able to do. But I think Republicans are going to start winning this state. You know, typically they don't necessarily do so good. We did really well. We won in a landslide. That's really why I'm here, I must be honest with you. Republican National Committee woman Sigal Chattah. Sigal, thank you. Wherever you may be. Hi, Sigal. Thank you very much. Republican National Committeeman Jim DeGraffenreid. That's a hell of a beautiful name, but I know the name so long, it's easier to say. One of the greatest people, I'll tell you, a man who's done so damn well. I don't know what it is with him. He's just a legend. He's one person, you know, we can all sort of be replaced, although we don't like to think that. Maybe it's not true. But this is a guy that can't be replaced. There's nobody like him. Dana White.
All right, we are going to go ahead and switch to another feed that we have there of this shot.
Well, I'll tell you, a man who's done so damn well. I don't know what it is with him. He's just a legend. He's one person, you know, we can all sort of be replaced, although we don't like to think that. Maybe it's not true. But this Harrison, Rick, thank you very much for being here. You're around here someplace with Dana. Mr. Phil Ruffin, his wife Alexandra, and their two beautiful children, Richard and Marlena. Phil, where's Ruffin? Where's Phil Ruffin? He's right here, so he's some legend, I'll tell you. He's a legend in Las Vegas and beyond. Phil, he's here. He'll be coming out. Today we talk about how we're going to end the economic suffering and stagnation and disaster of the past 4 years and create the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And as I said in my inaugural address, which, by the way, it got the highest rating in the history of Fox. Did you believe that? That's nice. The golden age of America begins right now, but I have to be honest with you, I'm really here for a different reason. I'm here to say thank you. I went to North Carolina yesterday, and then I flew to see just an unbelievable problem and just a mess in Los Angeles, right? And I said, you know what I ought to do? I want to come to a state known as Nevada. Has anyone ever heard of it? And don't ever mispronounce the name. You're not allowed to do that, Joe. You mispronounce the name, you got a problem. You ever see somebody when they say it's Nevada? Nevada? No, they're in deep trouble. I want to come to Nevada to pay my respects because this is the only Republican win of this state in decades, and it was a very big landslide. But I think Republicans are going to win a lot now. But we had a big win, and it was an early win, and that was a bad signal for the Democrats. They heard that we were leading so big here, and Joe helped us so much, and a lot of people in this room helped us a lot. Special group. And so I said, you know what I'll do? We're going to fly around it. And I said, let's fly right over it. Let's land, and I'll do something, and I'll just say it. But I want to say it, and I'm almost saying it right here for the media. I just came here because I wanted to thank the people of Nevada for giving us such a big win. A lot of great friends. I better not introduce them all. I'll be here all day. Under our leadership, we're going to defeat inflation, bring down prices. We're going to raise those wages. They're going to go up. They're going to go up. Put more money in your pocket, secure our borders, restore law and order to our cities, and we're going to make America great again. And for 4 long years, the last administration waged war on the American middle class and everybody else. They had a lot of wars. We had no wars when I left. We defeated ISIS, and we stayed out. Nobody wanted to mess with us. They had a lot of wars. We're trying to put them out. We'll get them put out. Don't worry, we'll get them put out. We were headed to World War III. I'm telling you, we would have had problems like you wouldn't believe. They shut down American energy, buried you in crippling regulation, imposed hidden taxes, and spent trillions and trillions of dollars on waste, corruption, and radical left lunacy. These were lunatics. The result was the most brutal inflation in a half a century, perhaps ever, in this country, I think ever, and soaring prices for food, groceries, and other household goods. The people of Nevada are now paying nearly $1,200 per month more to make ends meet since I left office. Think of that, $1,200 at least. But since I became the 47th president at noon on Monday, I've been moving with urgency and historic speed to fix every single calamity of the Biden administration that they've created. And this week alone, I took nearly 350 executive actions to reverse the horrible failures and betrayals that we inherited from a group of people that didn't know what the hell they were doing. What they've done to this country, especially the open borders, where they have, think of it, 21 million people came in. Many of them are criminals, murderers. Well, we're getting them out. You see it. You see it yesterday, first day. Our message could not be more clear. America's decline is over. American decline is over. We're laughed at all over the world. Now we're not laughed at anymore, I'll tell you. What the world witnessed this week is nothing less than a revolution of wealth creation for everyone and also common sense. It's about common sense. It really is. We're the party of common sense. On day one, I directed every member of my cabinet to, and by the way, Pete Hegseth got approved. And Kristi Noem just got approved, Governor. She's going to keep it. She's tough. She's a tough one. She's a tough one. And she's going to do a great job. On day one, I directed every member of my cabinet to marshal all powers at their disposal to defeat inflation and bring down the cost of daily life. We want to bring prices down. Too high. They went way up. They didn't come down. I imposed a federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, a foreign aid freeze. Oh, that's a nice one. And I created the new Department of Government Efficiency, and we're going to have a lot of good people. We're going to get Elon Musk to get involved in that a little bit. He already is. People like him. I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Scam. Wasn't the environment supposed to eat us up like in 12 years? But that was like 13 years ago. What happened? We're still here. We're still here. Remember, we have 12 years to live. Remember that? Done by somebody that never even took a course on the environment. AOC +3. Do you remember those two? They were telling us about the environment. AOC +3. This action alone will save hundreds of billions of dollars of American taxpayers' money. I withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord. And I canceled the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate, keeping my sacred pledge to America's auto workers. Boy, did we get a big vote with the auto workers out there. And the Teamsters, any Teamster in the room? We got a tremendous vote from the Teamsters. Thank you. They're pointing like one guy on it. But they voted for us in the millions. So we had a lot of Teamsters voting for us. I withdrew from the World Health Organization, where we paid $500 million a year and China paid $39 million a year, despite a much larger population. Think of that. China's paying $39 million. They have 1.4 billion people. We pay $500 million. We have, nobody knows what the hell we have. Does anyone know? We have so many people pouring in. We have no idea. We go up, but we're going down a little bit now. You don't mind that, do you? Gonna take some bad ones out. I withdrew 4 years ago, but Biden immediately went back for even more money. I mean, he went back and, they offered me at $39 million. They said, we'll let you back in at 39. So we're going to reduce it from 500 to 39. I turned them down because it became so popular. I didn't know if it would be well received even at 39. But maybe we would consider doing it again. I don't know. Maybe we would. They have to clean it up a little bit. But China pays $39 million for $1.4 billion, and we're paying $500 million for $325 million. I don't know. What the hell is wrong with these people? And then when Biden went back in, they immediately went back in. They paid more than we were paying in the first place. They paid more than the $500 million. So they knew they could have had it for 39. They paid more. You wouldn't do that, Joe, right? Now think of it. They know they have a deal at 39, so they went back in at $525 million. What the hell? Man, oh man. It infuriates you, doesn't it? I declared a national energy emergency to unlock the liquid gold under our feet and pave the way for rapid approvals of the new energy infrastructure. The United States has the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we may be a very substantially enlarged country in the not too distant. Isn't it nice to see, for years, for decades, we're the same size to the square foot. Probably got smaller, actually. But we might be an enlarged country pretty soon. And one of the things we're going to be doing is drill, baby, drill. Because that's going to bring everything down. It's going to bring everything down. My administration has also begun the largest deregulation campaign in the history of our country, far exceeding, I had the record for you. We had a great economy, the greatest economy that we've ever had 4 years ago, but this is going to be better. You watch. This will be better even than the first term. And the reason I got elected was because of the first term. Somebody said, what was the reason you got elected? I mean, you won by so much. I said, my first term. That's all I did. I just said, well, take a look at the numbers. Take a look at the numbers. In total, the Biden administration imposed $50,000 in additional regulation costs on the average American. I mean, think of this. The average American was paying much more than $50,000. And, just think of it. Nobody can even believe the numbers. I promised to eliminate 10 old regulations for every new regulation. So if we put in a regulation, we have to get rid of 10. That's what I did. I did it 1 in 7. We're going to do 1 in 10 this time, which will soon put many thousands of dollars back into your pockets and the pockets of American families. As a result of the reforms, we've just begun to implement economic confidence, and it's soaring. So this week, Oracle, AI, and SoftBank announced Stargate, a $500 billion investment in AI infrastructure, which is going to be very big for Nevada, I have to tell you, the largest in history, and which will create an estimated 100,000 American jobs. Saudi Arabia just said that they're going to invest at least $600 billion. This is because of the election, by the way. And I believe they'll make it $1 trillion. I'm going to ask them to make it $1 trillion. What the hell? The money means nothing to them. You know where they made their money? From liquid gold, right? They got a lot of liquid gold. We have more. We have more than Saudi Arabia. They've got a lot. We've got more. We got more than anybody. We just don't use it because of the environment. These people are crazy. And many other companies likewise are looking to invest, but I don't have enough time to do that. And we have a lot of news conferences. Everybody wants to have a news conference. You know, they're calling up by the hundreds. We want to have a news conference. We're going to invest $12. I said, no, I don't do that. I said, it's got to be $1 billion or more for a news conference. It's $1 billion or more. Just 2 days ago, because of our tariff plans, Stellantis announced, that's a very good automobile company, the revival of its Belvidere, Illinois plant, saving 1,500 American auto jobs that were previously headed to Canada, along with major investments to expand American auto production in Detroit, Michigan, Toledo, Ohio, and Kokomo, Indiana. Good place. All of these investments are happening only because of our historic victory. And if we didn't win, it'd be just the opposite. They're pulling out. They were pulling out. They were really pulling out. So they would be withdrawing money. Our country was on the verge of some of the very bad things, and bad things were happening. And now there's light, not only over America. I've heard it from even our enemies. They call up and they say, sir, we hate you. We do hate you, but there's light over the world right now. They hate me. Some of them hate me. If they liked me, you got a problem, right? They like Sleepy Joe. What's not to like? You know, they'd call up. It's funny. I was told today by one of the big leaders of the world, would call for a telephone call with the President of the United States a year ago. And they'd say, we'd like to speak with, who is this? It's the head of Germany, the head of, name it, the head of France, the name of any country, it didn't matter. He would never pick up the call. They'd say, he'll call you back in 2 months. 2 months. He has a schedule. He's extremely busy sleeping. No. Macron of France, he'll call you back in 2 months. So 2 months comes along and there's no call. They say, he didn't call. The stories are, I mean, these stories are not very exaggerated. I want to tell you, they're a little bit for laughter, but, you know, it's only for laughter. The fake news will say, oh, he exaggerated. It was only 1 month, you know. But he'll say, call you back, and then he'd never call, and then they could never get him on the phone. And the problem I have is that when I speak to and I speak to them immediately, they'll say, could we speak to the president? Would that be possible? We could do it anytime over the next month. They're so used to this, right? I say, no, I'll pick it up right now. Is he on the phone? Yeah, hello, how you doing? That's what, you know, get it over with, right? Get it over with. The only problem, they were so starved for love from the United States, I cannot get them off the phone. I can't get people, if you can't, I say, I have to go now, King, or I have to go now, President. But you can't get them off the phone. They're starved for love, you know, for years they haven't spoken. They didn't even know we had a president, if you want to know. But under our leadership, America is back open for business, and it's really a big deal. It's really a big deal. And they have, though. They said, you know, there's like a light all over the world now. It's not just here. We feel the light over our country. Everyone does. But there's a light all over the world. We've accomplished more in 1 week than other administrations have accomplished in 4 years, and we're just getting started. We got rid of the woke. We got rid of the woke crap. What a lot of stuff. What a lot of crap that was. It was, and you know, these people were petrified of it. I'll tell you, these companies, they run these big companies, they were petrified of it. It was like, I don't think they believed it. I'm sure they didn't believe it. Some I know didn't believe it, but they were so afraid. Near the top of the agenda for our historic Republican majorities in Congress is to pass a massive tax cut for American workers and families. Last year, we campaigned across the country on a pledge that I'm sure most of you didn't hear too much about, pledge to take the Trump tax cuts and make them permanent, and that's exactly what we're doing. In the coming weeks, I'll be working with Congress to get a bill on my desk that cuts taxes for workers, families, small businesses, and very importantly, keeps my promise for a thing called, and I know you didn't hear anything about this, and I'm sure it had no influence on the state, the fact that we won this crazy, massive majority, a state that hadn't been won by a Republican in decades, but I'm sure you haven't heard, but we're going to get it for you. No tax on tips. No tax on tips. So if you're a restaurant worker, a server, a valet, a bellhop, a bartender, or one of my caddies, I go through caddies like candy. If I play badly, I always blame my caddy. Or any other worker who relies on tipped income, your tips will be 100% yours. Won't that be? Joe, Governor, do you think that had an impact on the election? You do? Like what, a half a point? It's pretty big. You had an impact, let me tell you. Nationwide, over 4 million workers depend on tip income, including an estimated 700,000 single moms. And here in Nevada, we will have a quarter, think of it, a quarter of the typical restaurant worker's pay comes from tips. I didn't know that much. That's a lot. You haven't been reporting them for the last 10 years. So here's our deal. We're going to have no tax on tips from now on, but we're going to go after you viciously for all the money you didn't report for the last 10, 15. We're going to go after you for all the money you didn't report for. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I have to say to the fake news because they're going to say Trump is after all restaurant workers. Many of these workers are some of the very citizens who were hit hard and very hard by the ravages of the Biden economy, which was inflation. When I think of Biden, I think of incompetence and inflation. Not being nice by saying, I'm being nice when I say that. Yet even in the midst of the suffering he created, Joe Biden launched a cruel campaign to extract more money from tip workers. And that's what happened. I'm telling you, a young waitress, I won't say beautiful because you're not allowed to say that as a politician. Used to be you could say a young, beautiful waitress. This was a young, beautiful waitress, but I won't say that because I feel like I want to continue my political career. If you call the governor won't say it. If you call a woman beautiful today, it's the end of your political career, so I won't do it. But a young waitress, I think you could call young. You're probably not even supposed to say young. Probably supposed to say a waitress. But a young waitress came up and I said, how are you doing? And in my restaurant in the hotel in Trump, I said, how are you doing? And she said, not great, because they're after me so viciously for tips. They just want my tip income and they don't believe me and all of this. And she said, it's terrible. You know, sir, you should have no tax on tips. I said, what? I said, what'd you just say? No tax on tips. That was about the amount of my consultation. It's true. No tax. I said, what did you just say? Say those words again. Sir, no tax on tips. I said, thank you very much. You just won the election for me. No, we did research into it. I think it's going to be great. But under the Trump administration, the forgotten men and women of our country are going to be forgotten no longer. You know that. They weren't forgotten 4 years ago. On day one, I immediately halted the hiring of any new IRS agents. You know, they hired or tried to hire 88,000 new workers to go after you, and we're in the process of developing a plan to either terminate all of them or maybe we'll move them to the border. I think we're going to move them to the border. Well, they're allowed to carry guns. You know, they're so strong on guns, but these people are allowed to carry guns, so we'll probably move them to the border. Yeah. She said no tax on it. How about just no tax? You can do that. You know, if the tariffs work out like I think, a thing like that could happen if you want to know the truth. You know, years ago, 1870 to 1913, we didn't have an income tax. What we had is tariffs, where foreign countries came in and they stole our jobs, they stole our companies, they stole our product, they ripped us off. And, you know, they used to do numbers, and then we went to a tariff system, and the tariff system made so much money. It was when we were the richest, from 1870 to 1913. Then we brilliantly came in with an income tax. No, we don't want others to pay. Let's have our people pay. And then you had the Depression in 1928, 1929. I call it 1929. That was a bad time, but, you know, you didn't have tariffs, and you had tariffs that ended in 1913. But it was the richest our country ever was. That was President McKinley. In fact, we're renaming the Mount McKinley in Alaska. You know what else we're renaming? We're renaming the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America. Right? And Mexico, actually, they were thrilled when they heard. They said, that's nice. A few months from now, when I sign our tax cut into law, we're going to deliver for the tip-earning men and women who make it all work. I mean, it's going to be something very special, I think, for you. It's going to be a big difference. And with us today is Jessica Angiano, an employee here at Circa. This is a nice place, by the way, and I just met your owner. He's a nice man. He's rich, too, very rich. But Circa's very nice, and a hardworking single mother of two with incredible children. Jessica's struggling to pay for medical bills to remove a tumor behind her right eye. She's had some real difficulty, and she's currently saving up for a second surgery, which will hopefully be very successful, while also paying for her children's daycare. Jessica says that no tax on tips would transform her life. It would make such a big difference. So, Jessica, we're going to get that for you. Where are you, Jessica? You around here someplace, huh? Hi, Jessica. Oh, so beautiful. Very nice. It's working out medically good? Everything good? Gonna be good. It's gonna. You look fantastic. It's good. You look great. Also with us is Lexi York, a 28-year-old cocktail server here at Circa, who's got big dreams of being an entrepreneur. Lexi says that no tax on tips will help bring those dreams much closer to reach, and she's going to be one of the biggest proponents for it. We're going to have a lot of support when we go before Congress very soon to get that passed. Lexi, where are you? Where are you? Hi, Lexi. Wow. Good. We'll get it done. And we're also pleased to be joined by Rosanna Maeda, President and CEO of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, which strongly supports this pro-worker reform. And Rosanna, would you like to come up and say a few words on behalf of so many people? Come on up. Come on up.
Hello, Mr. President. On behalf of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, I'm so honored to be here today. We represent 30,000 members around the country in an industry that represents more than 2 million hotel workers. And I'm here to tell you that the American dream is alive and well in the hotel industry today. It is still one of the few places where you can have and grow your career, starting a job as a housekeeper or a dishwasher or bellhop, to running a hotel, to owning a hotel or a few, and to even becoming the CEO of a global brand or President of the United States. Mr. President, in 2017, the tax bill that you championed cut taxes for so many working families and American workers. It helped small businesses, hotel owners in our country who make up the majority of the industry reinvest in the economy, spurring jobs and growing and strengthening the economy. And the no tax on tips, it builds on that momentum. And so we're so excited to support you in that effort. That's why we're here today. We stand with you to urge Congress to pass this proposal so that more than the 800,000 hotel workers who benefit from these from tips, many who are here in the room today, representing all types of jobs, from restaurant workers to housekeepers to bellhops and so many others, can take home more of the pay that they earn every day. So thank you for having us and for promoting this proposal.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Great. After 4 long years, and these were long years of a government that always put you last. They put America last, they put you last, they put everybody last that was associated with us. You once again have a president who's putting our workers first, putting our families first, and above all, putting America first. And we're going to keep America first, and you see it. We're restoring our prosperity. We're restoring our borders. We're restoring our strength, our dignity, and our pride. We've been hurt badly by this group of people. This group of people, they didn't have a clue what the hell was happening. It's so disgraceful that they were allowed to do it. But quite honestly, we're restoring our country. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency at our southern border. I sent active duty troops to the border to help repel the invasion. Tom Homan is leading the charge. You know that. We like Tom Homan, right? Doing a great job. We immediately halted all illegal entry and began sending every border trespasser and violator back to the places from which they came. I signed an order that will designate the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. It's a big deal. That's a big deal. Biden didn't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. Biden didn't know he was alive. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do that. I always wanted to do it, you know. I mean, think of it. Is that a terrorist organization or what? And we began to leverage the full and immense power of federal government and state government and enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks bringing devastating crime to American soil. And we don't allow people to enter our country and to dump their prisons into the United States of America anymore. When we see that, our people are instructed to do whatever they have to do. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. Throughout this week, the heroes of ICE have been hunting down and arresting hundreds of illegal alien criminals. And its immediate expulsion, including those with charges of convictions for rape, child sexual assault, terrorism, and even murder. Members of the savage Venezuelan prison gang known as Tren de Aragua. You know that gang? This is not a nice group of people. They formed in prison, and then they dumped their prisons into our country. So we had them. We had them all over the place. Ask Colorado, the governor of Colorado. He doesn't know what to do about it. They're all over the place. We'll get them out. We'll get them out. They're, in a sense, they're in the real estate business. They go into a building and they take it, you know? See, when you buy a building, you have to go out and get a mortgage or use your own cash. They just go into a building and take it. And they actually said, well, it's not that bad. They haven't taken that many buildings. Can you imagine that? They haven't taken that many buildings. Oh, they're not that bad. But they're as bad as the bloodthirsty MS-13 gangs that we have gotten thousands and thousands of them out. In fact, over 11,000 murderers were released into our country by other countries all over the world because of Biden's open border policy. And when I heard about that, I said, everybody's going to empty out their prisons into our country. I said that. I'd do that if I were heading up any one of the many countries that you know about, not just South America, all over. They take their prisons, their mental institutions, and they empty them out into our country. Can you imagine a person doing this? Can you imagine somebody doing that to our country? For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 was truly Liberation Day. That was really Liberation Day. This week, I also signed an order to end the weaponization of our government against American people and political people like me. We never had a thing like that. He went after his political opponent. Who would have thought he helped me? I think he helped me get elected, Joe. You want to know the truth? I became much more popular. I'm the only guy that ever became more popular when something like that happened. But these guys were just so inept. We had the guy deranged Jack Smith. Deranged. He was a deranged human being. But they thought this way Biden could sneak by and he could win an election, another cheating in another election. That's what it was. But we won. We won. You think that was fun? You think that was easy? It wasn't fun. And investigate all of the abuses of power. I pardoned hundreds of political prisoners who had been viciously persecuted by the Biden regime. Hundreds of people were persecuted, including Christians, pro-life activists, 2 Washington, D.C. police officers just yesterday, whose lives were destroyed from chasing down a dangerous illegal alien criminal. And of course, I was very proud to pardon the J6 hostages. Once and for all, I stopped government censorship and we brought back free speech in America. We brought it back. We did more of this last week. People can't even believe it. I also signed an order to declassify and publish all remaining files related to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. I signed an order that will end all of the lawless diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense all across the government and the private sector. We abolished 60 years of prejudice and hatred with the signing of one order, all approved by the United States Supreme Court. We're allowed to do it because we are now in a merit-based world. We're a merit-based country. Did you ever think you were going to hear that again? It's based on merit. If you've got the talent, if you've got the work, the ethic, the whole thing, it's based now on, it's not based on any other thing, it's based on merit, it's based on your capability. The United States has now become, again, a meritocracy. Isn't that a beautiful word, a meritocracy? Based on merit. If you do your job well, you're going to go places. And I made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 genders, male and female. Male and female. Every single day of my term, we're living by the motto, promises made, promises kept. I kept my promises. It's why we won. It really is why we won. We won because of the past 4 years. We won because of that. But this is going to blow it away. Because when I came in, I had no experience. I didn't do this before. I never did this. I was never a politician before. I was talking J.D. Vance. By the way, hasn't he done a great job, J.D. Vance? Because J.D. went right to the Senate, and then he went to the vice president and said, J.D., you're really upwardly mobile. He said, you're more so than me. I said, why do you say that? He said, you went from being a real estate developer to the president. That's a pretty big, I never thought of it that way. I guess I'm the most upwardly mobile politician in history. I didn't make any stops along the way. It will be the greatest honor of my life to serve not once, but twice, or 3 times, or 4 times now. Headlines from the fake news. No, it will be to serve twice. For the next 4 years, I will not rest. I will not yield. And together we will not fail. We will win, win, win. We will bring back the American dream. We're going to bring it back. You know, in recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to make it great again, greater than ever before. We'll be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. That's what we're doing, and that's what it's all about. And you see that. I think you see it more in the last week than you've seen it in years. And I walked up the stairs of that massive plane that's waiting for me, that big 747. And I said, there's no way I'm going to let myself fall, because that was one hell of a... That triple fall was a disaster. I would call that a political disaster. You can fall once, you can fall twice, but you can't fall 3 times. You can't fall 3 times. What a disaster. I've used that in every ad I think I ever did. Our power will stop all wars and bring new spirit of unity to a world that's been angry, violent, and very unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by the people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We're bringing back religion in this country. We will be prosperous. We will be free. We will be bigger, bolder, and more ambitious than ever before. And together we will make America powerful again. Make America wealthy again. Make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. Make America proud again. We're going to make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Nevada. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. We'll be back. We'll be back. Thank you. Thank you, my man.
All right, so that was one of his shorter rallies. Little over an hour he spoke. Impromptu. He got out there and talked to the people in Nevada, letting them know that no tax on tips. Oh, he's dancing, so letting them know that no tax on tips is going to be a reality. That is exactly where he wants to take it. Not a bad way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Bunch of, a couple thousand people there, and Kristi Noem sworn in. Pete Hegseth sworn in. Fantastic weekend. And there's more to come, much more to come. So before you guys go, let me go ahead and, as we do here, actually, before I do that, I got to read something. Let me just go ahead and do this. President Trump says he wants to teach our kids to love our country, and now that it's finally time for his inauguration, it's a perfect time to teach kids everything they need to know about their new president and his mission to make America great again. That's why Mike Huckabee's team put together the Kids Guide to President Trump, and to celebrate President Trump's return to the White House, they're giving it away for free. This book is great because it features fun illustrations and content teaching kids all about President Trump's accomplishments and his goals for his second term. Mike Huckabee wants to send your family this free guide so you can teach your kids the truth about President Trump, and when you order, you'll receive a free commemorative Trump pin. Free commemorative President Trump pin. But you must hurry because supplies are limited. Claim your free Kids Guide to President Trump for your kids right now. See offer details and order your free guide at kidstrumpguide.com, kidstrumpguide.com, or take a picture and just go to the QR code right there. kidstrumpguide.com, kidstrumpguide.com. Thank you very much for helping me get through that. It's always so tough to read these things when you're reading. But in any event, thank you for going through that. So let's go ahead and get ready to give away some hoodies, which I know many of you need because it's cold where you are. See, it was cold down here. It was like, what was it? 47 degrees this morning. But as of right now, it's nearly 72. So we're looking good up here. Looking very good. All right, let me just get the right window open so we can do this. All right, get ready to win some hoodies. And there's the window so you guys can see. Looking for the drum roll sound so I can add that in as well. And here we go. You ready? All right, the first winner is, okay, I'm going to try to say this the right way. Cristobal Delgadillo. Cristobal Delgadillo. You've won a free hoodie. Let's go with the next one. Back here and run the drum roll. Next name, John Leaf. John Leaf, you have won a free hoodie. Wow, that's two men. We're going to close this out with 3 men today. We never usually get 3 men. Drum roll. Haha, Michael Biggie, as opposed to Michael Smalley. Michael Biggie, you have won a free hoodie. 3 guys. I think that is the first day since I've been doing this that we got 3 guys who won. But congratulations. Congratulations. Ashley will reach out to you and get your mailing address and your size and get all that stuff squared away so she can get you that hoodie. I wouldn't expect to hear from her until Sunday or Monday. She's with the kids. Like I said in the chat, she took them to a concert tonight, a Christian concert with Toby Mac. So the kids are all on their way to see Toby Mac in concert. Let me get here to super chats, if any. Georgia Cat Lady, great work. Please read the email I sent Ashley. Well, if you send it to her, how am I going to read it? Unless you want to send me a copy. Brenda Freeman. Thank you, Barry and Robin and Ashley and all the mods and chat fanfare team. We love and appreciate all your dedication. Let me just tell you something about the mods here. And I really do have to say it because they have been helping so much. So much. And not a lot, let me rephrase that. Some people give the mods a hard time. One of the reasons why this channel has grown and continues to grow is because of the community we have fostered here. And we don't like negativity. We don't like people giving other people a hard time or sowing discord amongst the chat. And so every once in a while, if someone is in here, the trolls, you automatically go. But if people are not being nice, if they're not being a part of the community, if you're attacking people for their views, maybe just don't say anything. If somebody tweets something or rather posts something you don't like, maybe step back, because SV and Roaring Rage and Beth and some of the other mods, Ashley, they don't want to, and I've given them, I'm hands off. So, oh, sorry, Midas. Emailing me, hold on a second. Let me go ahead and deal with him. Midas, hold on. Let me. My dog is going crazy. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I have a Chihuahua and a Maltese, and he barks. What I was saying was I've given the mods the autonomy to run this chat because they've done a great job, a fantastic job. They're able to keep it harmonious, make sure there's no trolls, and it really takes a lot of headache off of me having to do all this and then click buttons and deal with trolls. So I don't really get involved in this. So emailing me and saying, hey, listen, I got my free speech infringed, you're emailing the wrong person. email Ashley and talk to her, and then she and SV can decide what they want to do, because I just love what they do. I think they're the best mods on YouTube. They have fostered a great community. It is the main reason why this channel continues to grow, and I'm not gonna get in the way of that. So just to let you guys know about that. Benedetto Salerno, imagine being on left. What a miserable life. Ooh, yeah. You got to wake up every single day just ticked off with life. Hello, Nia. Thank you, Barry and Fanfare team. Love winning. You guys all rock, bringing us the joy. Trump in America is back. Yes, he is. Mountain Goddess, make yourselves force multipliers and wear your MAGA hat. I underscore that. I have mine's right there. It's a little small in my head, but I got hoodies. No tax jokes again. He's really trolling the left. You know he's trolling the left. The fact of there being less taxes is like nails on a chalkboard for them, because it's money they can't spend, and that's what their view of government is all about. Hey, Greg, Barth, no mas bandits. RBI Sports. Excuse me. Use the force, Mr. President. You have it. Mike D. Trump made a good night's sleep great again. Yeah, he must have had a good night's sleep, because he was looking good this morning. Amira Roach, I pray that RFKJ will allow us to use our health savings account and health insurance to buy holistic medicine, vitamins, and any other thing that's not a drug. That's a good point. That's a very, very good point. If it's your health savings account, I don't know about the health insurance, because those guys are going to tell you what you can and can't use, but HSA, I think that should be okay for you to buy what you want to buy. I remember during the jabademic, we went to some people outside the realm of our insurance, and there were some internet sites, and if we needed to get what that I still don't think we can talk about, the eye, we would get it. And by the way, it worked. Let me see what else we got here. Just me. Stop it, Barry. I can't take all the winning. Oh, you can't? Okay.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
Just love that video. Just love it. Paul Driggs, happy Australia Day, America. Hi, mate. We can only wish we had a politician like Donnie. Yes, I feel for you people down under. Mary Boston, love you in blue, Barry. Oh, thank you. You like my blue button down. I don't know what it is. You guys like the button down shirts, though. But I didn't think it mattered that much, but it obviously does. So I will continue to wear them. Today was Saturday. I'm like, you know what? I just wear, a polo today. And the boss said, nope. I'm like, okay. Where did that one go? Larry, I can, let me go to the next page. Where is it? Gotta go to the next page. Okay, here we go. Larry says, if you can give away hoodies, you can give away t-shirts. Probably 1/10 the cost to you. Black with Fanfare logo on front. I would probably wear it. I sent Ashley a pic of how it would look. Yeah, we can do t-shirts. I just wasn't doing them right now because it's cold. It's really cold. T-shirts, that's a no-brainer. But yeah, we can do that for sure. Angel Flight. Thank you, Barry, for all you do and keeping us informed. Much love. Thank you very much, Angel Flight. Daniel Mann, actually he can't. It's against Kentucky law. So I think what you're referring to is Mitch McConnell stepping down or leaving and Andy Beshear naming a Democrat senator. Okay, I wonder what the law is in Kentucky for somebody who has to replace McConnell. Paul Triggs, players that don't toe the line, Barry, get sacked. Yep, absolutely. That's why that woman got fired earlier. Raise, we the people will rule with Trump. Yes, you the people, we the people. I keep trying to tell you, especially some of you who have smaller Twitter accounts, X accounts, that you don't realize how much power you have. The power is in numbers, in legion. I mean, these people, they don't even want to look at their X feeds because they're terrified of you. And you could tell because they say it all the time on the news. Oh, the X has become just a platform for the right. Because we have a voice. We have a voice. That's the difference. I want to see if I can find this quote by Thomas Sowell. He said something, or not, he didn't say something, but somebody posted a quote by Thomas Sowell. And it's a great quote. See if I can find it real quick. Yes, this is it. Wow, it came right up. Tell me if this doesn't explain exactly what's going on with the left on X right now. Why they hate Elon. I want you to look at this. This is amazing. When people get used to preferential treatment, equal treatment feels like discrimination. You see, for so long, the left has been basically in charge of social media. They were the ones who were the gatekeepers. They were the ones who were the fact checkers. They were the ones who owned it. People here, people on Facebook, and they would just go ahead and zap conservatives. It wasn't fair. They didn't care that it wasn't fair. Now, because it's fair, because things are becoming equal to them, hey, something's wrong. We're the ones being discriminated, they say. We're the ones who the algorithm doesn't favor. No, it just got evened out. You just weren't used to it. You had gotten so used to your preferential treatment. You got so used to being able to delete and have people banned and shadow banned. You got so used to it. It felt so cool to destroy conservatives that now the fact that conservatives actually get to talk, it feels like you're the ones who are being oppressed. That is probably the best quote I've ever seen in regards to how they feel in the media right now. They want you to shut up. You can see it all around the world. They want conservatives not to be able to speak. Don't say those words. I loved it. I don't remember what speech it was or if it was an executive order, but I showed you, well, no, I showed it on Twitter, a video of Ron DeSantis. And Ron DeSantis was doing a press conference. And one of the people in the press conference came out and said, the undocumented immigrants, blah, blah, hold it. And the guy's like, what? And he's like, what's that? Undocumented. He goes, that's not who they are. As of when Trump signed this document, they are now designated as what they're supposed to be. That I really don't know if I can say here. Illegal, you know what's. That's what he said. He goes, so if you want to address this, you're going to address me as the governor. You better call these people what they specifically are. And the guy had to rephrase his question, and you could hear it in his voice. He almost choked on it. He goes, well, Mr. Governor, they are so nuts. They are so nuts that when things aren't going their way, they feel as though they're being offended, oppressed, discriminated against. The algorithm's not working. No, the algorithm is working. It's just that now there's legions of conservatives who are free to speak their minds. And now that we're amplified and we're multiplied, you people can pick this up and click on your keyboards. Your voices matter. I don't care if you got 10 followers. I don't care if you just joined yesterday. Find people who do have following and talk to them. They don't like it whatsoever. They think things are skewed against them when it's just the reality of things. Sorry for that little sidebar. Deanne Hobbs. I hate the clickbait on YouTube. They're making me stop watching their pages. We want facts only. I try to tell some of these guys. When they see that chart where they see my name in the groups of some of these people, they ask me, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just telling people news. I'm not putting up. So-and-so got fired. And you've seen it. Yeah, well, that's it. Anyway, for that. Media going down in flames. Big time. Absolutely big time. David Cummins, Mish poops his pants and doesn't even realize it. Get him out of all the committees and into a nursing home. Absolutely, I believe that. He should be done. We can't spend 4 years pointing at Joe and then not be spending the next 4 years pointing at this guy. Like, come on, man. We just got rid of a president who is demented. We can't have you running around. Joy Barry, absolutely love the shirt you're wearing. Great color for you. It's the best one I've seen. Wow. Y'all giving me a complex. Now I'm not going to be able to basically wear well, this is comfortable, but I'm not going to be able to wear regular dude shirts anymore. My wife's never going to let me go back. That's funny. Yeah, but that is what's going to happen. Let me go back here. Paul Triggs again. Got to get Biden elected. Judges out. Absolutely. And Pete's another tick for America. Aussie eyes are watching and cheering. Thank you. Keep watching. Hope for the world. Marie Lynn, who is the guitarist in the new intro? Her name is Sophie Burrell. I think she's from Australia. Hope you guys like that. I want to do something different. We're moving into a different phase now. With all these press conferences, it's all about winning, uplifting, energetic, not just wondering what's gonna. Now we got to be energized. So that's why I decided to go with that intro. Barry deserves so much more recognition. You are a true Trump loyalist. You were my first channel I found during election season. A huge thank you. Thank you very much for sticking around. Sharon, yeah, awesome intro. Thank you very much. Big Cat, hey brother. Time to rally the fanfare community for we the people. Exactly. Rally time. Got to change things up. Bring the energy. James, TLB, Small World We Live In. I was shown today on page 24 in JD's book, Hillbilly Elegy, mentioned about his grandmother's family from Jackson, Kentucky, last name Talby. Interesting. Very interesting. Do you know them? From Rhonda, thank you very much. I just said, Rhonda twice. Thank you very much. And I think we're at the end of that. Let me go back up here. Carrie Lemoine, Barry, boys love you say, if you use a few whoops and donks, you'd be great black John Madden. I used to love John Madden. I couldn't get enough of him. Joy Kirkland, that's one of the best quotes I've ever heard for any situation in life. Let me just go ahead and put that up again, in case you guys haven't seen it before. It's something, and if you've never read Thomas Sowell, any of his books and his writings, I strongly suggest you dig into some stuff from Thomas Sowell. But I just love that quote. When people get used to preferential treatment, equal treatment feels like discrimination, because you get all the flowery stuff, everything's going your way. You're up here. Everybody else you're looking down on. And then when true equality comes, you are seemingly oppressed because you were above everybody. Now you're at the same level. Do you know, in previous Twitter, pre-Elon Musk, there were some people on the New York Times. What's the guy's name? Charles. Forget Charles. He got all pissed off because there was a intentional push every time somebody from the New York Times would post something. I would look and I'm like, how's this dude getting all this engagement and all these views, and his stuff sucks? And then it came out in the Twitter files that all these people weren't not just getting preferential treatment, they were getting pushed. The algorithm favored them. And it was absolutely nuts. And so a lot of these people left because they no longer get that preferential treatment. Kevin Strand, I love your channel. How can I help? Watch. Thank you very much. Watch. That's how you can help. Bashir can't appoint. It's against Kentucky law. Okay. Then how do we get rid of McConnell? What happens if McConnell were to I don't know, fall in the bathtub or something. Let me know. I think this is from, imagine being on the left. What a miserable life. That's from before. Okay. So yeah, they're in such a free fall at this point that they can't take it. Is $3 billion being taken from NGD? National Guard? Not really sure what's NGD you're referring to. Intrigue Tech, Kentucky needs to get McConnell to step down now. Yeah, if the governor can't reappoint, let's figure out who can. Thomas Sowell, yeah, Sharon, is what alleged, absolutely. This is what, yeah, no, people in Alaska are pissed off because they didn't vote for even if they didn't vote for Lisa Murkowski, she was foisted on them by that ranked choice voting because she would have lost. So they changed it so that she could stay there. Let's see. All right, so I think I covered everything. Yeah, Mr. Thomas Sowell is a very smart gentleman. Yep, absolutely. The lefties are self-destructing. Yeah, all right. If you guys would like to join us over on X, some of you may not have accounts and you may be wondering, how do I join? So just go here and go to fanfareshop.org/group. It will take you and just forward you directly over to the Fanfare X group. It's free. It's private. It's secluded. It's guarded. It has a gate on it so that, the bad guys can't come get you. And you can just talk to some of the people you see here in the chat. Much, I think everyone will tell you, it's much better than a YouTube membership. YouTube membership only allows you to make a comment. And you get a nice little badge. And you got to pay like $5 a month. This thing here is 13, going on 14,000 people posting content, talking to each other, sharing links. Hey, have you seen this story? Posting their own videos, all kinds of things like that. So you might want to get in there because you'll if you've never been on X or if you've been on X, you may learn some things and you might get used to some things, especially the newness of it. And if you want to win a hoodie next time, go ahead and go to fanfareshop.org and register to win another hoodie. Let me just check if Ashley or SV had anything else in here. That's it. It's Saturday. I'm going to go out to dinner with the wife tonight and take the night off, so there's going to be no nighttime video. It gives me a chance to rest my voice and everything else, and then I'll have a video tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being Trump supporters. Thank you guys for being loyalists to America, not to a politician. That's the part that the Democrats don't understand. All right, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.